Welcome one and all seekers of fun to the Retro Bear Plastic Tat-Tacular New Year video for the end of 2023 and the start of 2024. Yes, another exciting year ahead of everybody. Hope you're well, hope you've had a fantastic Christmas. I'm not sure when I'm putting this video out, so if it goes out before the end of the year, have a great New Year's Eve. If it goes out on New Year's Day, I hope you had a great night the night before and worthwhile celebrations ringing in the new year. Auld Lang Syne and all that rubbish. Yeah, so we've had Christmas, we've had New Year, we've had all sorts of things going on the last couple of weeks. And it's really going to try and tie everything together. And this I was going to try and get a video out between Christmas and New Year. This is it. This is that video. So I'll try and encapsulate everything that's happened in the last couple of weeks, because it's been a very, very busy couple of weeks. So in this video, I'll be talking about stuff that happened before Christmas, a couple of extra additions to the gaming collection, a couple of stories and incidents that happened, what we had for Christmas, what we've done over Christmas, and that's it really. I'm not going to talk about 2024, so I'm going to do a video about that in January. So this is really going to be sort of catching up the last couple of weeks or so it might be a bit of a sort of all over the place ramble, which I know you like, the waffles, you know, it's a bit of a waffly one anyway. Firstly, I just want to say a big thank you to a good friend of mine, Jason, over at retrogames.co.uk. Mentioned Jace quite a few times on here. Got a mug and a keyring from him if he dropped round personally just before Christmas, as he was in the area, as part of the Hardcore 44. So if you watch his channel in his videos weekly, you'll know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so we had those before Christmas, so I've got that mug on the go, so I am using it. It's not going in the cupboard somewhere out of the way. Yeah, and that was part of the first weekend before Christmas, because I finished work on the 15th of December, which seems like a hell of a long time ago now. I always try and have the week off before Christmas, just to get into the mood of things. And last year, 2022, we had a problem because Mrs. Bear was ill. Pretty much as soon as I broke up from work, she was ill pretty much the week before Christmas, which I think it might have been COVID at the time. It was, I mean, I've never seen her that ill before. She was like literally just spark out. Now this year she caught something which we don't think was COVID this year, probably a flu, but it knocked her off her feet for a couple of days. So the week before Christmas, she was off her feet for a couple of days, and it sort of threw us out a little bit in terms of what we were trying to do. Plus, the car was off the road as well, which I've mentioned. So I'll come back to the car in a second, because that links in with something else. So I finished work on the 15th, and then week before Christmas and Monday the 18th, I spent most of that week not particularly well myself. Stomach problems, so that wasn't, which I think we could put down to a couple of things, but certainly eating a lot of crap doesn't help. Although I think that week before Christmas and the week after Christmas, I don't think we ate that much rubbish. I know we've picked them, and we've still got quite a lot of it left, so I'm not quite sure what happened. But yeah, and there's a lot of running around that week. So the Saturday the 16th, Sunday the 17th, Monday the 18th to Wednesday the 20th, we were literally going in and out each day, running errands, dropping stuff off, picking things up. Usually I like to get out of the way before Christmas. So even by the time we got to sort of Saturday the 22nd, 23rd? Saturday the 22nd, no, Saturday the 23rd, we were still tidying little bits up and managed to take the workshop apart so we could put the table together and have Christmas dinner in there on the Monday. And then before you know, it's all gone, hasn't it? It's just sort of disappeared. I've had 11 days off work. I've never known 11 days to go so quickly. Let alone I was talking to somebody at work on Friday, and he said, what day was Monday? I said, it was Christmas Day, wasn't it? Seems like an awful long time ago now. I don't know what it is. Anyway. So to talk pre-Christmas, got a couple of bits to show you, first of all. As part of our running around and doing stuff. So we got 3 games to show you. Now, let me I'll talk about that in a second. So the first one I got here is Back to the Future, which is the original Back to the Future game for the Commodore 64. This was donated to us by Martin over at Joypad Joy and Games at Netherton. And basically what it was, I think he found this, or somebody had given him a Commodore 64 with a few games, and the tape was actually snapped on this, so Mrs. Bear's put it back together again. So hopefully that'll work. If so, that'll be really good, because that means I've got Back to the Future 1 on the 64, Back to the Future 2 on the Spectrum, and Back to the Future 3 on the 64 and the Amiga. So, yeah, technically I could put together a video playing that, and I've got the updated Telltale PlayStation 3 disc as well. So yeah, I could do all that. The entire Back to the Future series I really wanted to. So there was that then. These were also a couple of things that we managed to pick up as well. I think these came in, I can't remember where we came from anyway. It's a 2600 game, so I've never played this one, and this is Defender 2. There we go. Actually not bad condition. I think there might be a crack somewhere, I think. Or some damage somewhere. Can't quite see why, I'm not sure what it is. Anyway, I'm sure it was sold to me in the proviso that it was seconds, but I think it looks all right actually, that one anyway. So Defender 2, played the first one, never played the second one, so quite happy to have that. And then I just grabbed this one because it's a platinum and I haven't actually got this one. Not this, I'm a particularly big fan of it. On the PS1, it's Tekken 3. I think probably because I've got the other two. That defies the point. Somebody who doesn't like fighting games keeps picking fighting games up. I don't know why. I think the reason it's ended up here, it's got a bit of a cracked case on the front, but everything's in there. Manual's in there, and the disc is a fair condition. It is a platinum as well. So yeah, just nice to find that as well. So there we go. So those three editions before Christmas on the pickup front. Sean, Retro Games Advice, meant to come down before Christmas, but like me, he had a couple of things going on and a couple of hefty things to pay for, so he isn't coming. He's going to come down hopefully in January, which would be nice to see him there. Jace came across on a Sunday to see us, to give us our mugs. It's nice to see him as well. Then we're just sort of running down doing bits and pieces. Now, let's track back then to the week before with the car, which I briefly mentioned in my last video. What happened was, the long and short of it, Claire wanted to borrow the car to go and pick something up, and basically the car she couldn't get the car off the drive into gear. Managed to get into second, limped round the corner, drove it back home, phoned me, and my phone's going at work. I'm on the phone at work, and my phone's ringing. Well, what's going on with my phone here, you know, sort of thing. And so she rings the RAC, so we got start at home. They come out literally within about 15 minutes. I mean, we must have been having a fag or a cup of tea around the corner or something. Basically said your clutch has gone, phoned a couple of the local garages. This was, when was this now? I'm trying to remember. The 11th? No, probably the 4th of December, I think it was. Might be the 11th of December. I don't know. It was either the first or second week in December. I can't remember now for the exact time of it. If I had my wallet, I'd have the receipt in it. I can't remember. Anyway, 4th to the 11th. So the car's going in the garage. He rings around a couple of places. This is the Tuesday. They can't get anybody to look at it at least until the Friday. Or if it's the Friday, or there's somebody else who can look at it and do it on the Monday. Great, lovely. So the car disappears. I then have to basically strong arm anybody at work. And yeah, again, people, sometimes their generosity, you know, goes no bounds, doesn't it? I mean, a lot of people don't live this side of where I work. They live the other side. So for them to say, oh, can you pick me up or drop me back? You know, they'd have to come over this way to go all the way back over there again. And you know, nobody actually sort of balked at it and said, you know, one guy said, well, I've got my Keep Fit class tonight. I said, well, I'm sure the world will be spared you in prancing around in your leotard just for 1 week to give me a lift home. Wasn't that more important? So, yeah, so, you know, my colleagues for basically about a week just spent their time. And luckily, there was one of our engineers who lived quite close at hand, and he was able to sort of pick up most of the running around. It was the 5th it went off the road. That was the 5th of December. We eventually got the car back on the following Wednesday, which was the 13th. So the idea would have been week commencing the 4th of December. 4th of December. We'd have done a bit of running around that week, and then finished it off week commencing the 11th. But because we didn't have the car for basically that great chunk of a week there, we had to try and cram everything in the following, which is why Christmas was such a run around. It makes sense, it all threads together. So the car basically went in for a week, had a new clutch on it, 400 and something odd quid, which is not the sort of thing you want before Christmas. But it is what it is, you know, it is what it is. It is our car, it's not a company car, it's not what's provided to us, it's our car, so, you know, these are the pitfalls of it. You have to pay for these things, and, you know, a few years ago that might have given me a few problems, but, you know, we've just managed to sort that out anyway. Thankfully it was just that, nothing else with it, but I've just been reminded today that the MOT is up at the end of January, so that'll be interesting to see what throws out on that this year. So the car disappeared, and the reason Claire wanted the car, there is a point to this story, I'm not telling you about the car, but there's a point to the story. We had a friend, well, I say he's a friend of ours, we've spoken a few times now, he's fairly local to us, literally around the corner I think, and he follows Claire on Instagram, the Retro Repair Bear, if I hadn't mentioned it before. And he got in contact and said, would you be interested in this? I'm about to take it down the tip or get rid of it somehow, and there's an issue with it starting up, it's maybe a little bit damp inside. And he said, well, I thought you guys, you know, you might want it. If you do want it, let me know, I'll bring it round, which was very decent of him to do so. And it was a Sunday afternoon, I think it was Sunday, possibly Sunday. They drop it in, and basically, you know, if you can repair it and keep it, great. You know, you can sell it if you want to, or if it's no good, then you can get rid of it. And what it is, I haven't got it here because of the size and weight of it, and I haven't got a photograph of it because, well, yeah, I hadn't thought about that. But it was I think it's a 21 inch. No, not 21 inch. It's bigger than we got anyway. It's a CLT. It's Bang & Olufsen B&O. So very, very sought after. It's a nice black one. And if it, yeah, I think he basically said it's the way it's got some damp possibly inside it. So Claire said she'll have a look at it. She'll obviously look at it after Christmas and into New Year. But that'd be great because that would replace the Beko one that we've got, which is fantastic. Little television, you know, plays DVDs, puts, you know, washes your dishes, does your clothes at the same time as you're able to play games on it. It's a nice little telly, nothing wrong with that telly at all, but this obviously would be an upgrade if we can get it working. No remote with it though, so I know B&Os can be a little bit finicky when it comes to repairs being done. I know where I work now, years and years and years ago, we used to refuse taking them in because they were just so hard to repair really. But anyway, so we'll keep that something to be updated for anyway. So we've got the television, and the reason he mentioned something about it, he said we were talking about a certain thing that we wanted for ages. I've wanted for a long time, and Claire has as well. And he mentioned, oh, they got one of those for sale down in the town. And I was like, what really? So he told us where it was. Claire went on Facebook, messaged the guy who ran the shop and said, you know, have you still got this? Yes, I've still got it. He says, great, I'll come down. She says, I'll come down on Tuesday. I'll pick it up then. So Tuesday was the day she took the car. So we didn't get it in the end. And I think she made some attempt to contact him in the meantime. Anyway, the Saturday comes around, which is the, be in my dates, the 9th of December. And she goes, oh, do you fancy going on the bus? So those of you who follow on Instagram would have seen the photographs of me and her going out on the bus. First time I've used the bus in God knows how many years. Any different? Any different how it used to be? I mean, the seats seem smaller, or I've got fatter, one of the two. Probably a bit of both. And of course, all the routes have changed. Because I used to catch buses all the time. Usually, I didn't drive when I first hit that age, I wasn't interested. And then all of a sudden it was like, you know, I've got to try and work out that the bus I had to get to Hellzoin, which was basically a mile away. And believe me, because of what we were picking up, I couldn't have walked down there anyway. It'd been nice to have tried to done it, but I just wouldn't have been able with, well, it just wouldn't have been feasible. So the bus I have to catch goes all the way to Walsall, which is a long, long way away from here. They're trying to explain it to my dad as well, and I saw him before Christmas. I said, yeah, you have to catch the bus which goes to Walsall to go to Hellzoin. So it seems like a very strange loop, you know, to go to Hellzoin to Walsall, but, you know, it's quite a long distance if you sit down and work out where it is on the map. Strange as it is. So, yeah, we had a trip out on the bus, and it turned out to be a complete wasted journey because she was meant to go on the Tuesday, and on the Wednesday had sold the item on eBay anyway, which he had it listed for at a lot more money than we were going to pay for it. And this is sort of developing into Mrs. Bear's latest obsession. So you have to bear with me a moment. I'll lean over here. I'll talk to you about this. I'm still here. Yeah, so let's say latest obsession. It's something that I've been interested in for a very, very long time, and something she's been interested in for a very, very long time. And as these items are relatively cheap to pick up in certain cases, And she said, well, what about these? And she's got an idea, you know, she's got ideas for it, you know, either she starts collecting these things, or it turns into something else which we've been thinking out. And the way she put it, and I said to her, I said, strange how it starts, isn't it? She goes, well, I'm only going to buy ones I want. And I said, yeah, that's how it starts, you know, and then all of a sudden, you know, that's what it turns into. People know that gap there, that stack of about 12 games there used to be the Wii collection many, many years ago, because I was only going to collect the games I wanted. Look what happens. Look what happens. It develops into a session, so hopefully it doesn't, because these got some size to them. Anyway, the thing I'm talking about is laser discs. Yes, laser discs. Now, for the more uninitiated and younger of you have no idea what I'm talking about. And you're probably not going to get the explanation either, because a laser disc, if you don't know, sits somewhere between a VHS videotape and a DVD in terms of quality. So it sort of sits, so that's the VHS there, and we'll say the DVD's there. It sort of sits somewhere here. It's not quite the quality of the DVD, but way better than VHS. And that was the idea of it, and then occasionally you'll find discs with special features. Now, not every film came out on Laserdisc, there were a set few. And yeah, you look around on eBay, and it's quite a lot of them are quite cheap. Some of them are quite expensive. So she's been buying Laserdiscs. So I'll show you what she's picked up. So first of all, we've got Close Encounters of the Third Kind. This is the special edition. Now, we have already got this on Blu-ray. But there you can see the size. It's LP size. That's how big they are. So, again, nobody's actually seen one. Unfortunately, these are all... I don't want to take one of these out because I don't want to damage them. I'll try and, if I can, I will. But there we go. So, Close Encounters of the Third Kind. I was going to try and find somewhere to stick these on the floor down here. Just bear with me a second. Second one we've got is Independence Day. So you can see the sort of film she's going for, the big blockbusters. I must admit, I'm not crazy about either of these two films so far. But yeah, if I just do that, that is a Laserdisc, everybody. There you go. That is a giant size. That's not perception, you know, near and far away. Hello. There we are, back and back. that is the size of a Laserdisc. It's basically an LP size. And yeah. So the picture quality is what it is, and what is good about it, interesting about it as well, is sometimes these discs have to be flipped. So they're not just standard disc size, you have to flip them. I've always wanted one of these. I thought these look fantastic. I remember seeing H&V years and years ago, and she's always been interested in them. Next one, Terminator 2 Judgment Day, which most people will know I think is one of the most boring films ever made. That is not me being controversial, that's just simply my opinion. There we go, and as it says on the front there, it's nothing personal. But yeah, so I think she had this, she had the VHS tin when it came out. It was like a blue tin version that came out of it. That unfortunately rusted away many years ago. She's got this on 3D. So got it on Laserdisc now as well. And then these two arrived just this weekend, just in time for me to film this. So the fourth one she got, this is still sealed. Close Encounters wasn't sealed, it's got a cover on it. This is actually still sealed. This is Waterworld. We probably understand why it's still sealed. But yeah, so I can't actually say anything more than that. But yeah, Kevin Costner's Waterworld. Because of the budget of Waterworld, nobody went to see it. This actually cost £6,000 when it first came out, this disc. You can win a trip to Hollywood, apparently. Yeah, but that's just nice. It's like having a mini film poster, isn't it? It's a decent size, though. And then the last one I got was just arrived yesterday morning. It's Star Wars Special Edition. Now, this is the George Lucas filthy lucre era, where he basically went round and saying, you know what people really want to see is Star Wars with bits in that I couldn't do originally, so we'll put them all in the cinema and go and see them again. And that's what it is. So you know it is because we've got that scene there with Han Solo and Jabba the Hutt, which was inserted into this is the 1997 re-release of Star Wars, the special edition. So yeah, there we go. But yeah, not particularly expensive to pick up there. That's sealed as well. So I think somebody bought a job lot of these, thinking they're going to be worth a bit of money in some time. So there we go. So we've got a nice little Laserdisc collection now. All we need now is a Laserdisc player. So if anybody's got a Laserdisc player they want to sell, or not interested in, get in touch down below. Because that was what we were going to pick up. If we picked up that Laserdisc player, it would have been... There we go, quids in. I don't know, I mean, I appreciate the quality isn't as good now as perhaps it was then, but I must be honest with you, it's something I've always wanted. And I think Mrs. Bear's always wanted it as well, so it's, yeah, interesting how these things turn out, isn't it? So yeah, so we'll see how we go on with that, but I know people like to see the films that Mrs. Bear has picked up, or films that I've picked up from Mrs. Bear that she's unaware of. Right, so then in the week before Christmas, the last few days before Christmas, there was our Secret Santa stream over on James' Game Zone Bird Room channel. You haven't been across to see that. What have you been doing these past 3 years? Goodness me. James has been hosting Secret Santa for 3 years. This year was going to be his last year. He says he doesn't want to do it anymore because basically time constraints and things. He's very, very busy, and believe me, it's not quite straightforward as asking a load of people, do you want to be involved in it? There's a lot of planning goes into it, plus also there's the technical side, which is why Paul, the Northern, they give him a hand with that. And so this year I took part again, third year in a row, and I've got a couple of things. One I'm going to show you, two I haven't got to show you because they're elsewhere. One was a Pac-Man pin badge. One was a mug for my collection. Got loads of these mugs now, it's great. And the third one was this book, which was an illustrated history of 151, sorry. Why 151? It's a strange number, isn't it? Perhaps because 134 video games sounded stupid. I don't know. And it's book. A lot of books given out in Secret Santa this year, written by a guy called Simon Parkin, who isn't the bloke from the Broom Cupboard off the BBC, children's BBC years ago. He's actually an American author or something. But yeah, I'll just show you some very, very quick shots from inside. So it basically goes through all the systems that came out and just picks a few games key for each system. Sorry for the light on this one, but so you got Another World and Wolfenstein 3D there, Doom and Sensible World of Soccer. So it's a nice book, nicely illustrated. I've flicked through it, read a little bit, not all of it so far. I've had some other books for Christmas, so I'll get to that at some point. But yeah, so once again, if my Secret Santa's watching, thank you very much indeed for that. I think Eddie got that as well for Christmas. Eddie over at Rollercore. Speaking of young Edward, we did a TMB special before Christmas. Some people may not have realised. And it was on Eddie's channel, not this one as usual. So if you want to go across and have a look at that, there's a few of us having a good old natured general discussion Christmas chat. Loads of people came along on the night. We sort of surprised a few people with it. It was great to see so many of the regular contributors to the chat in there. Really, really good. And my thanks to Eddie for hosting it, because I wasn't really in the mood for doing it, and I think I sort of taught myself into it. But I said to Eddie, I said, well, look, you know, you've done the Game 52 this year, Game Club 52. Hosted a couple of streams, would you mind? And he didn't seem to mind, and I think he did a very good job. He did a very good job indeed. So hopefully we may do some more, but I don't know when. I can't speak for the other lads. I'm sure we will. This was something that was thrown together, I don't say last minute, but we'd had a few discussions about it in the couple of weeks beforehand, so it wasn't sort of last minute, but I don't think the final lineup was confirmed until the very end. It was fun to do. It was good to be back with all the lads again. Well, not all of us, some of us. But yeah, we may do some more. I know people have asked about it. No, you know, it's so touching when people say, when's the TMB coming back? It's just time. It's just time and people's availability. And things to talk about, really. All we did on this one was have a very, very loose framework that it was to talk about Christmas. And I don't think we did an awful lot of talk about Christmas and games. I think it was just very much a ramble. So yeah, but if you haven't seen it, I'll stick the link below. And again, thanks to everybody who turned up for that one. It was really, really good, and we'll try and keep you updated if we're going to do any more going forward. So let's get to the big day itself, Christmas, because I have some Christmas presents to show you. I'll show you some Mrs. Bear presents, because I know people do like to keep tabs on Mrs. Bear's 3D Blu-ray collection. There's a lot of Mrs. Bear stuff in this video, isn't there? I mean, if I show you a normal present, you know, it's I bought her this top. you want to see media, don't you? That's why we're here, media. So as you know, Mrs. Bear's got a 3D Blu-ray collection. Has she? Oh my God, really? Yes, there's a couple of videos which people keep watching. So they're in the realms of the basement of this channel somewhere. Where you'll also find normal Blu-ray collection and some VHS and DVD stuff. I think I've still got a DVD collection to do as well. Because I was asked about a film the other day, and I remember I thought I had that at one point. And I don't think I've got it anymore. I might have traded it in, which is very, very likely, or very, very unlikely, one of the two. So what do we get? 3D Blu-ray films from Mrs. Bear for Christmas. We got Monsters University. There we go, which is the follow-up to Monsters Inc., which we haven't got. Then there's another one we haven't seen before. This is Maleficent. From Sleeping Beauty. This is more commonly known around here. I don't think we've seen that one either. But again, some of these Blu-rays are so cheap to pick up. Some of them aren't. Some of them, still hold a decent value. But some of them you can get for very, 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 very little. I mean, the ones I bought for a birthday, they were all still sealed. There are a couple still sealed in here as well. Next up is Up. Fantastic film, this one really is good. If you've never seen this one before, there's a lot of Disney films in here, but they are plentiful, and one day they'll not be available. Next up, I think I've even seen this one, G.I. Joe Retaliation. Were there two G.I. Joe films? I don't know. This one looks like it's got Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in it. Anyway, I'm not sure about that one. I know that one. This one is one of the ones that's still sealed. It's Frozen 2. We've already got Frozen. Oh, I should point out as well, I forgot to mention, I mentioned Frozen. I picked up a couple of Disney Infinity princess figures for my princess cupboard. You got a princess cupboard? Yes. Told you about it before. I'm sure I have. I inherited many, many years ago Princess Jasmine, Anna and Elsa from Frozen, Merida from Brave, and Stitch. For some reason he was in there. Been sort of trying to pick up all the other Disney Princess Infinity figures. I don't know why. They're in the 8-bit cupboard. They sort of stick on the Commodore 64 stuff at the top. So I managed to add in Vanellope from the Wreck-It Ralph games. Although I think, there's that sequence in the second film, isn't there, where she talks to the Disney princesses. The Black Widow, who technically isn't a Disney princess, but it was just there. And for some reason I bought Anna again from Frozen because I didn't think I got it, but I had. So if anybody's got any of the Disney Princess Infinity figures, I'd also be interested in those as well. I don't know why, it's just one of these, I don't even play Disney Infinity. I just like the figures, and the fact that I was starting with like 4 or 5 loose princesses. I thought, well, I'll just go for the rest of them and get them. I think there's Rapunzel and Cinderella and things like that anyway. Back to the Blu-ray, 3D Blu-ray. Next up, another sealed one. It's Black Panther, which I must admit I don't think I was particularly keen on at the time. I really wasn't. I haven't seen the second one either, so although we got it somewhere. We got the Jungle Book, Disney's live-action remake. We've now got this one and the Lion King and Beauty and the Beast live-action remakes on 3D. Again, I've not seen this one. And I would say probably, I don't think apart from Up and Monsters University we've seen any of these. And the last one is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in Skyscraper, which I don't think we've seen either. So there we go. So those are the 3Ds Mrs. Bear had for Christmas, which I'm sure she'll get through at some point, which she's worked through 2 Christmases previously. So like I said about collecting stuff, it's all very well saying, oh, what did this? No. It ends up becoming this. It really does. Right, so what did I get for Christmas? Yeah, well, I've got some non-gaming related stuff, which I'm not going to show you. I've got a new T-shirt as well, Animal from the Muppets. I'd stand up, but I'll stand up. So I'll stand up a little bit. There we go, Animal from the Muppets. Dr. Teeth. And the Electric Mayhem Orchestra. So Mrs. Bear gift, as always, finds the most amazing T-shirts they give me at Christmas, which is fantastic. There isn't a lot gaming related, I must be honest. This year I've sort of sleepwalked into Christmas and out the other side of it. There's a lot going on beforehand. I said with the car, there was other stuff going on which I'm not going to talk about, relating to work. So it was not an easy time this year. Whereas I think middle of November we were on track and absolutely ready and raring, and we'd be finished and done, and it just didn't happen. So I didn't really ask so much this year, and people have responded by give me some money to go and buy stuff with, or just buy me for things that I did ask for, like socks and pants, because yes, we all need socks and pants, don't we? So I asked for those, and I got socks. I got some books to read, which is nice. I got some more deodorant and stuff. So it's the usual thing you get for Christmas. When you get to our age, Christmas is that sort of thing. I mean, my parents years and years ago used to say, "Oh yeah, when you get to our age, it's all socks and pants and smellies." And yeah, they were right. They were right. I've got a couple of t-shirts, gaming t-shirts. These came from Claire's mum, Mrs. Bear's mother. How delightful for her to do that. First one up is you can guess what this is. I thought this is great when we first saw this. I thought it was fantastic. There you go. Isn't that brilliant? If you don't know what that is, you're watching the wrong channel. I think that's fantastic. I really do. It's a Pong t-shirt. No. Look it up on the internet. That's what it's there for. It's a Pong t-shirt. Yes, lovely. This one I thought also was great. I don't know where she find them. Where she found these from, I really don't. Usually Mrs. Bear finds all the good t-shirts, but no, this one here, there we go. I'm not sure what that's saying about myself, to be honest with you. But yeah, what a fantastic design that is. So I cut the t-shirt. I really must go through them. I said at Christmas I was going to go through my t-shirts and get them all sorted out, but I don't think that's going to happen until probably I'll get some time off work again in March, maybe. Also got some gaming related socks. Men's cotton rich soxies. There we go. So we've got some Pac-Man and Tetris and controller designs. I've got quite a lot of gaming socks, so they'll go nicely in there. But yep, I needed new socks, so that was fine. Got some more at home. Got some other ones as well, a bit more plain design. This one as well, I'm not quite sure what this is. It's a make your own box, or a sort of a robot Game Boy. Which is for ages 8+, so I'm going to struggle with this a little bit, but I think that's what it's the posable box figure paper toy. So we can stick it around here somewhere. We're done with that. So that was, I think that came from Claire's mum as well. I think it was anyway. That's it. And then I did get 2 games. I did get 2 games. Got Switch games. Yes. My dad always buys me Switch games, so he bought me 2 this year. We were debating actually. We had a sort of private chat with a few of the boys, and I told him, I said, I don't know what I'm going to get this year. I haven't really thought about it, and if he does buy me a Switch game, I'm not sure what he's going to do. He actually outdid himself and bought me 2. So the first one is FIFA 23, the Legacy Edition. Now, so I've not played a FIFA game for years. The last one I played was 18. I think 18, and the last one before that was going back to like the early noughties. So it's not a game I'm au fait. Of course, it's now changed to FC 24 or something stupid like that. But yes, I am actually looking forward to see how this plays, because it's been a long time since I played a FIFA game. I like to see, especially on the Switch as well. So I'd like to see how that goes. So that's one, and then the other one he got me. He bought me 2 games in this series already. And this is the third one, and this is The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword in HD, which I have not played. And it is a game I do own on the Wii, which I never played in the Wii either. But yeah, I know some people are... Skyward Sword is not one of their favourite Zelda games. But so I haven't got round to playing those, but I will do. Yeah, so that's all the gaming related stuff I had for Christmas. Mrs. Bear has played through and finished Cloudpunk on the PS4. You may or may not have heard of that one. Played it over the course of about 3 days or so. She was shocked to find out that when she completed the game, that she'd only actually got 37% of the trophies. Which is what the problem I have with modern games. It is, years and years ago, if you used to go from point A to point B, probably by about 5 different levels, you'd finish the game. and now you're getting from point A to point B, and they told you, well, yeah, you finished the game, but actually you still haven't collected 2/3 of the trophies for it. So yeah, she was a bit, she was a bit miffed, but no, she did. But yeah, she's done quite a lot of time with that because she's not been doing anything this week. I've told her to take the week off. Don't get everything back out and start doing. So if you have made an inquiry to her, you're watching this, you have sent an inquiry, she will respond to you when after this goes out. It's just that I wanted to take some time out after Christmas while I was back at work for 3 days to have some time doing it. And ton of that, I'd like to thank everybody who watched the Christmas message that I did, which went out I think on the Saturday before Christmas. Not the usual sort of fun and games that I try and do, is quite serious, but I'd like to say I think the point got across. I was a bit worried about it, and I must have done that video in my head for 2 weeks before I actually filmed it. So I think by that point I'd already pounded it into the ground to the point where I didn't recognise the original point I was trying to make. So I think it got across very well. I'd like to thank everybody who commented and agreed with me. Nice that some people did. There were a few people who, I wouldn't say disagree with me, but said, well, I understand what you're saying, but... and again, I completely respect that, and it wasn't a simple case to tell people, if you've not seen it, it was more to say, let's focus on playing the games, rather than just do what I've done there. And I know people say, well, you said you were going to do this. Well, yeah, next year. I'm still in this year at the moment. That's the excuse I'm using, but yeah, I will do that. If I do a pickups video, it's going to be that, and hopefully some footage of me playing it. And I say, let's just play some more games. Let's not pick up less. Let's focus less on making the pickups the focus of the video, and let's focus on pickups and gameplay, or gameplay over pickups, or whatever how we want to do it. And some people say, well, I much prefer to play games, away from YouTube. I don't to stream games. I wasn't asking anybody to do that. If that's the way it came across, that wasn't what I was trying to say. If you're doing that, then you're doing exactly what you are, and I know a lot of people are doing that. Some people say, well, I already do that. I said, well, yeah, great, I know you do. That video really was made to me as to speaking for myself as being a lazy bugger at the best of times. It will kick up the backside for myself in a video form to say, you know what, you got to start playing some more games again. The reason I fell out of this love this year, this hobby, is because I wasn't playing it. I mean, when I look back, I'm not going to try and do too much looking back at the moment. But if I look back on 2023, it was an appalling year for me playing games. It really was. So it's acting as a kick up the backside for me to sort of say, you know what, next year you need to play more games, and that's the idea. That's the idea. Now, again, whether it comes off or not, I don't know. I'm not one of these people who likes to sit here and make predictions about what I'm going to do with this and what I'm going to do with that this year. People have been doing that, which is great. But I know if I say something like that, I'm never going to stick it out. Never going to stick it out. And I think in a way as well, this year, I don't want to bring it up as a final point as where it is, but, having lost my dear good friend John back in January, I think losing John and not having him around close at hand has probably affected me from that point as well. And I know John wouldn't want me to sort of stop and pack it in or just lose interest in it. But I think his passing did affect me quite deeply in ways that I probably didn't realise it has done at the time. And I'm not saying because of John passing on that my interest in it stopped. It hasn't. It was still there because I was still going out to gaming markets and pickups and going to pickups and meeting other tubers and people and going to other events which weren't markets. So it's still very much there. I'm still sitting here doing this. And I'm still sat here doing this. I'm still surrounded by all this. But I think that video was done for Christmas purely as a kick at the backside to me. I think, you know what, next year you need to start doing a bit more of this. And I think losing John has probably hindered me a little bit and affected me perhaps in ways that I didn't know at the time. So yeah, I'm not going to finish on a sour note, but a sad note, but that may be what to do with it. Anyway, so that's that video. I think that's probably long enough. I haven't got anything else to show you. And like I said, yeah, 2024, there'll be a video coming out. I'll talk a little bit about 2023 and what we're doing, and what will happen in 2024. Talk a little bit more about Retro Repair Bear and things like that. Just want to say thank you to everybody who supported Claire this year. May mention this is now a sort of a full-time thing. A lot of people were contacting her on Boxing Day this year, believe it or not. Boxing Day, sending messages saying, can you do this, can you do that, which is just amazing. Thank you to everybody in the collective who has passed her things to do, asked her to do things. It's nice that so many people have done that. I know other people still want to send us stuff as well, and it's also getting now to the point where it's expanding beyond that, which is hopefully where we wanted it ending up eventually, that it wouldn't just be people who know me from here and know her from here. It would be people outside of that. So it's been brilliant. So if you've done anything repair wise that Claire's done for you, it's been fantastic. Thank you so much for all your support. It's really been appreciated, and she's doing something she loves, which is I always say is very, very important. I don't, she does, and I'm very envious of that. But it's been brilliant, and so many people have rallied around, and it's been great to meet so many people in 2023 to make so many events and things. Familiar faces always welcome, and nice to meet new people as well. Hopefully that'll carry on in 2024. But I'll talk more about that in another video. And of course, I haven't forgot the competition. The competition will be coming. Yeah, you'll have a few weeks to mull that one over. But yeah, that'll be coming in January, and it will be 25 quid. That's right. I'm calling it now. It will be £25 of my hard-earned dosh will be winging its way to you if you are the lucky recipient, or the lucky winner, or the recipient. I don't know. If you're lucky enough to win the competition in January. Yeah, that's it. I don't think it's anything else. I think that's probably it. Like I said, so if it goes out New Year's Eve, hope you have a great night. If it went out goes on New Year's Day, hope you haven't got too much of a hangover, you've enjoyed that. It's been a pleasure once again to be sat here talking to you for another year, and I look forward to doing it again next year. How often and how regular, I have absolutely no idea. But it's been a lot of fun as always, and I'm glad people are still coming back for more of the same. In the meantime, whatever you're doing, however you've done it, I hope you've had fun, I hope you enjoyed it. All the very, very best for the new year, and I will talk to you again soon. Until then, as always, take care. Bye for now.